The world had become a strange, strange place, unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. Gone were the days of boring old humans, replaced by a new era of peculiar inhabitants. Now, the streets belonged to beings of bizarre design, each more unusual than the last. On one side, the camera heads, a group of beings with a unique and unsettling appearance. Their heads, literal cameras, whirred and clicked incessantly, capturing every moment. They spoke in clicks and whirs too, their language a symphony of technology, a digital cacophony. On the other side, the eggheads, equally strange but in a different way. Smooth, white and oval, their faces were blank slates, devoid of any expression. They communicated in clucking noises, a symphony of the coop, a language of their own. Nobody knew where they came from, these enigmatic beings that now roamed the city. Nobody knew what they wanted, their intentions shrouded in mystery. But one thing was for sure, they didn't get along with the camera heads, tensions simmering beneath the surface. The first clash was small, almost insignificant in the grand scheme of things. A misunderstanding over a parking space, some say, a trivial matter that sparked a larger conflict. Others whisper of a stolen lens cap, precious and irreplaceable, a catalyst for the brewing storm. Whatever the reason, it escalated quickly, tensions rising to a boiling point. Soon the streets ran slick with yolk and blue, crackling energy. The war had begun, and there was no turning back.
The camera heads, they were organized, disciplined. Their camera eyes, they saw everything. Every angle, every twitch, every weakness in the egghead ranks. And they exploited it with ruthless efficiency.
The smaller camera heads, they darted between the legs of their larger brethren. Those big boys, they were something else. Lenses like satellite dishes, they blasted concentrated bursts of blue energy, vaporized eggheads where they stood. It was a massacre. But the eggheads, they were nothing if not persistent.
See, the eggheads, they had a secret weapon, anger, pure unadulterated rage. It was their driving force, their fuel in the heat of battle. Every blast of blue energy, every fallen comrade, it just made them angrier. Their fury knew no bounds, and when an egghead gets angry, well, things change. Their entire demeanor shifts. Their smooth white shells, they'd crack and split. Underneath, red, pulsating flesh. It was a terrifying sight. The angrier they got, the more powerful they became. Their muscles would expand, glowing with an intense energy.
First form, just stronger, faster. They were already a force to be reckoned with. Second form, they sprouted bony spikes, launched themselves at the camera heads with reckless abandon. Their attacks were relentless.
Third form, they breathed fire. Fourth, they could fly. Each transformation brought new horrors. By the fifth form, they were practically unrecognizable. Monstrous beings of pure rage, hulking behemoths of muscle and fury. Their roars echoed through the battlefield. And then there was Stake, the ultimate egghead, the pinnacle of their evolution, a towering titan of rage, capable of leveling entire city blocks with a single swing of his fist. His power was unmatched. Just when it seemed like the camera heads were outmatched, a new player entered the fray, the TV men.
Tall, slender figures with television screens for heads. Static crackled across their blank faces, their intentions as unclear as their expressions.
They didn't side with the camera heads. Didn't side with the eggheads either. Instead, they attacked both with equal ferocity.
From our screens, we blasted waves of disorienting static, froze camera heads in place, their systems overloaded, drove eggheads into mindless frenzies.
And their weapons? Think remote controls that fired guided missiles. Antennas that extended like whips, crackling with electricity. They were a force to be reckoned with.
Even Stake, in all his rage-fueled glory, seemed wary of the TV men.
The war raged on, a three-way free-for-all with no end in sight. Camera heads against eggheads against TV men, each vying for dominance. Alliances shifted like sand in a desert storm, unpredictable and ever-changing.
1 minute, the camera heads and eggheads would be forced into an uneasy truce against the TV men, their mutual hatred temporarily set aside. The next, we'd be back at each other's throats, the fragile alliances shattered.
And then, the unthinkable happened, something no one could have predicted. The TV men, they unveiled their own titan, a monstrous figure that dwarfed everything else. A colossal being with a screen the size of a billboard, its presence overwhelming. Its static alone capable of shorting out entire city blocks. It was chaos, pure and unfiltered.
The camera head titan, all gleaming metal and laser beams, a marvel of technology, fought with cold, calculated precision, every move a strategic decision. Stake, a whirlwind of fire and fury, an embodiment of raw power, fought with the unbridled rage of 1,000 suns, its energy seemingly limitless.
And the TV man Titan, it just stood there, a beacon of chaotic energy, its presence warping reality itself, warping the very fabric of reality around it, bending the world to its will. The battle raged for days, buildings crumbled, reduced to rubble. The very sky seemed to crack under the strain, as if the heavens themselves were breaking.
And then, just as suddenly as it began, it was over. The Titans were gone, vanished without a trace, leaving only destruction in their wake.
In their wake, a single flickering TV screen, the only sign of their existence. On it, a single word, to be continued. The story was far from over.